So I came by chapter, oh, I guess, about the mm, can't hurt me. And I think it's actually chapter 4, yeah, exactly. Chapter 4, and it says taking shots. I don't know what I mean. We will know by the end of this video. Along with that, I also have a cup of green tea. Along with that, I think to write about chapter 3. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write 2 or 3 lines explaining about what that what that chapter is trying to depict. Mm, I think yeah, I might turn off this microphone. I don't know why, but I felt like that. Yeah. Uh, So let's go. Let me just make the markings first. And our hearts hammered as we gathered on the ground awaiting orders. This war was alive, but it wouldn't be fought on some foreign shore. This one, like most battles we fought in life, would be won or lost in our own minds. Oh, very good. Psychopath, Psychopath stormed the pocket asphalt, his brown slick with sweat, the muzzle of his rifle streaming in the foggy night. Welcome to the hell, weak gentlemen, he said calmly this time. In that sing-song, Kali surfer drawl of his. He looked up us up and down like predator, eyeing his kill. It will be my great pleasure to watch you suffer. Oh, and there would be suffering. Psycho says the tempo call the push of sit-ups and photo kicks and jumping lunges and dive bombers. In between he and his fellow instructor, instruct, instructors host us with freezing water, crackling the whole lamp time. There were countless steps, set up a seat with no end in sight. My classmates were gathered close, each of us on our own stenciled footprints, overlooked by the statue of pattern. The frogman a scale creature from the deep with head, with webbed head and hands, sharp claws, and his back. To his left was the infamous brass belt. Ever since that morning, I came home here, across jokes and got sucked into the mystery show. It was the places I thought short. The calendar, a slab of astral dripping on history and music. Basic underwriting silver training is 6 months long and divided into 3 phases. First phase is our physical training at PT. Second phase is dive training where we learn how to navigate underwater and deploy stealthy closed circuit diving system that emits no bubble and recycle our carbon dioxide into breathable air. Third phase is land with training, but most people picture both is the first phase because those are the weak yet tenderized newly crews until the class is still going down. Or from what one trains a guy to hard filming spend that are 20 to 40 guys who are more over the vegetarian. The emblem that tells the old way and first instructor to the way working out with people and their perception by challenging the manner and insisting an object physical standard of strength, stamina and agility. Standard at the state. In the first stage, we had among other things, climb vertical into the hammer a half-mile long obstacle course with American Ninja Warrior type challenge in under 10 minutes and run for miles or under 32 minutes. If you ask me, all that was child play. It couldn't even compare to the grocery typical of first phase. Hell week. Hell week is something entirely different. It's medieval and it comes at you fast, denoting in just the thought of the training. When the throbbing ache in her muscle and joints was raised up high and we lay day and night with an AG, hyperventilating feeling of our breath getting out front of our physical rhythm of our lungs inflating and deflating like canvas bag squeezing tight in demon fist. For 130 hours straight, for 130 hours straight, that the that's a test goes way beyond the physical and it reveals the heart and character more than anything. It reveals your mindset, which is exactly what it's designed to do. All of this happened at the Navy SEAL Welfare Command Center at Basic as Colorado Island of South California to separate tugs into Central Point Loma and shelters the San Diego Marine from open Pacific Ocean. But even Cali's golden sun couldn't pity of the grand and thank God that my life is ugly. Just lava agony was everything I would ever. Not because I loved her, because I need to know whether or not I had what it took to belong. Just thing is most people don't. By the time Hello started, At least politicals has already quit and hunted written or forced to walk over the building 3 times and Blister Hamid on the contrary, turning away were fast but in during the Vietnam era because so many guys are quitting to evolution or just walking off the bracket. The way was a way to keep track of guys. What seems to is become the ritual their manager performed. Only a fact is quitting. To the quitter the way is closer. To me, every class sounded like a progress. I never liked psychomotor, but I couldn't quibble with the spirit of the job. He and his peer instructor went there to cull the hours. Plus, he was going after trance. He was in my face, plenty with and guys bigger than me too. Even the smaller dude was start. I was on 1 feet and I was 1 feet. When he was a friend, even the smaller fierce. I was a one-man fleet from a country like me. I'm plenty from the Texas Rangeland. Every board's class has said they hard as backcountry Texas. No state puts more sales in pipeline. Must be something in the barbecue. But Psycho didn't play favorites, no matter where it came from or who it. He lingered like a shadow. He couldn't shake, laughing, screaming, or quietly taunting us into face, attempting to burrow into the brain of any man who tried to break him. Despite all that, the first hour of the Helix was actually fun. During breakout, we the mad rush of explosions, shooting, and shouting. You are not even thinking about the nightmare to come. You are riding an adrenaline high because you know you are fulfilling a rite of passage with a Hollywood word for a tradition. Guys are looking around the grinder, practically getting thinking, yeah, you are in Helix, motherfuckers. Ah, but reality has a way of kicking everyone in the teeth sooner or later. He called this putting out. Psychopath asked, no one in the particular. This may be the sorriest class we have ever put through our programs. You may not straight up embarrassing yourself. You realize the path of a job stepping over and between us is put between in a policy sweat and saliva, snot, tears, and blood. He thought he was hard. All the instructor did, and they were because they were shields. The fact alone placed them in the rear. You boys couldn't have held my job. When I went to the village, I will tell you that much. I smiled to myself, keep hammering a psycho crossed by. He was built like a tailback, quick and strong. But watching weapon during Hell Week, so I doubt that very much so. He caught the eye of of his boss, of his boss, of his boss, the first phase officer in charge. There was no doubt about him. He didn't talk a whole lot and didn't have to. He was 6'1" and he cast a longer saddle due to a jag too. I'm talking about 225 pounds of muscle wrapped as a tight shit without an ounce of sympathy. He looked like a silverback gorilla and loomed like a godfather of pain, making silent calculation, taking mental notes. Psycho says, especially was a half, not as Psycho scared to me. Oh, you will quit, he softly said. I'll make sure of that. Psychiatrists were spooked when he delivered the minutes relaxed, unlike, but there were plenty of times when his eyes went out, his brow twisted, the blood rushed to his face, and he unleashed a scream that went from the tip of his toes to off his crown of his bald head. And now into Halo he knew. He knelt down and pressed his breast within an inch of my own while I finished in the set of push up and still the thoughts. We have been boss for nearly 3 weeks back then. We will dress up for about the 15-foot bun that divided the breeze from the Central block is full of officers, lockers room, brackets, and the classroom that parts come up plenty of times. Usually to lie back in the shallow split race, then roll in the sand until we were covered in sand from head to toe before charging back to the grinder, dripping heavy with salt water, sand which ran up to the degree of difficulty on the pool bubbler bar. The ritual was getting wet and sandy, and they wanted sand in our ears, of our nose, and every orifice of our body. But this time we were on the ball of something called soft torture. What kind of a special risk? It instructed we charged into the soft scream like Celsius, fully clothed and laying. We invaded into the impact zone. The soft was angry that moonless night, nearly here, and waves rolling thunder that barrel like foam in the shades of the train. Cold water shivered our balls and swept the breath from our lungs as the waves thrashed us. This was early May in the spring of the ocean of Coronado. Coronado ranges from 59 to 63 degrees. We bubbled up and is down his own fall, standing of a floating head on the horizon for any hint of soil. We prayed we would see coming as it towed us under. The surface in our crew detector was 2% curled out the web, so we could we could die just in time. After 10 minutes or so, Psych ordered us to back to land on the verge of hypothermia. We scrambled from soft zone and stood our attention while being checked by the doctor for hypothermia. That cycle continued to repeat itself. The square was submerged, smeared orange and red. The temperature dropped sharply as night loomed close. Say goodbye to the sun, Saints. As we said, he made us wave the setting sun, a symbolic acknowledgement of inconvenient truth. We're about to freeze our natural ashes off. Brain out, we fell back into our six-man boat crew and starts to burn. Hardly time to get warm, and it was futile. Bones were rattling up and down that beach. Guys were jackhammering and sniffing of physical, started revealing the quaking condition of splinting minds, which were just now coming to grips with the reality that this shit had only begun. On the hardest day, the first phase period with the halo, the sheer volume of rope climbs and push up pull up and flutter across your spread. You can find a way out because you know that no matter how much it will, how much it sucks, you will home that night. Mid friends appreciate sleeping in one bed. The point is, even on a miserable days, you can sit and escape from hell. That's real. A week of force no such love, especially on one day one when an hour in they had standing, linking arms, facing the Pacific Ocean. When the inning or the soft hour in between, we keep dead out on soft sand, sprints to warm up. Usually they had us carry a rigid, inflatable board or log overhead, but the warm, if you arrived, was always short-lived because every 10 minutes they rotated us back into the water. The cloud takes slowly that first night. The cold is swiftly colonizing our mad, so thoroughly the don't stop doing any inputs. There will be no more bombs, no more shooting and barely ending instead any area quite expanded and didn't our spirit. Why is talking? In the ocean, all of us could hear the waves going overhead. The sea water we extremely shallow rolling in our course and out the catering. When you are at that golden stage, the mind cannot compensate and next 120 hours plus. 5.5 days without sleep cannot be broken up into small pieces. There is no way that systematically attack it, which is why every single person who has ever tried to become Navy SEAL acts Aj asked himself a simple question on the first dose of self torture. Why am I here? Those unconscious notions would bubble up in our spinning mind system. We got sucked under a monster by badminton when we already borderline hypothermia. Because nobody has to become a sieve. We are drafted, become a series of choice. And what single softball question dribbling the heart of battle is that this second we remain that training was also a choice, which made the entire notion of becoming a seems like a mark suicide. It's voluntary torture and that's make no sense at all to the rational mind. This is why war was unravel so many. This is the picture of our David Goggins during his week. As he mentioned that he was shivering with cold, not he but his teammates, and he was standing like statue. Like what? And this is the image. You could see how dark it is. I guess it is dark. That's why it's too much in the night, I think. So yeah. Tragedy without me. The memory that the memory had dominated me for years, but after 130 hours of hell, it no longer defined. Every man was required to see the medals that evening, but our bodies were so swollen they had a hard time discriminating injuries from general soreness. All I knew was my right knee was straightforward and I need crutches to get around. Big brown layer, made check bruises and battered. Kenny came out clean and barely lame. And he was plenty sore. Thankfully, our next evolution was walkway. We had 7 days to eat, drink, and heal up before shit got drained once again. It wasn't much, but enough for much time. Me, on the other hand, my solo only hadn't got any better by the time they snatched my crutches away. But there was no time for boo-hooing. First place was fun. One wasn't over it. After a walk, we came by not trying, which may sound not like much, but was way than I expected because that particular route took place at the bottom of the pool. With those semesters would do their best to draw on his own lake. It was the devil says it was the also waiting. Intermission now our purpose was coming right up. At night, different words kicked up in the back with intensity I could hear. His was in the instrument was on. They said, you like suffering cookies? That you think you are externalist. Oh shit. Challenge for it was challenge for challenge for choosing a competitive situation right now. You're in. Who your opponent is your teacher, coach, what's the number of excellence. Who is my enemy? My teacher. My teacher is my enemy. My I'm saying my teacher is an enemy in a sense that he is teaching me something. And just like Goggins did, he thought that his instructor are his enemy so that he could defy the things or like he could do way more than his instructor told. Feel like that. That means that makes mean acting an exam or crafting an ideal proposal. What's that? That means getting a job. Simple. That's why I'm studying. Not this, but else. Whenever issue, I want you to work harder on that project or in the class before you have ever. Oh, okay, work harder. Work harder. Simple. And do every exactly as they ask of whatever the standard is right is to suppress that. If your coach doesn't give you time in the games, dominate practice. Oh, okay. Then do more. If take out the best conditions student. Oh, this means putting time on watching friends we can study your content is playing in the gym. You may need to take post attention. If a student is doing high quality of work, extra time on an assignment. Do this is really nice perspective on like how it could be better. Like he explained that if you want if you want to do the unexpected or way beyond your expectation, do the things that no one expected. For example, like if you are a student, like no one would think that you would do the things that no one said. I don't know. So, so them who you are and who you want to be. Whenever you are dealing with your goal is to make them watch you achieve that it would never have done themselves. You want them to think how amazing what talk take the negativity and use it to dominate the tags with everything you have got. Take the so put this possible social media hashtags. Yeah, that's all for chapter two. From the chapter four, I guess. And I completed this. I have six more chapters to go. I also have added these bookmarks, but these are actually not bookmarks. This is a sticky note, like scissored into many half, so that I don't have to spend money on bookmark. This is just sticky notes, cut it into half, 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 and then I stick it to the each chapters, and I have six chapters. I hope I will complete this book on this week. Another thing I have to show you. So for the May, my goal is to finish this book. Okay, so you complete three books. And three books, I will say, first of all, is this one, and then the second one is this is a novel. So I will read this into my free time. Another book, I don't know which I'm going to read. Probably it will be some non-fictional that I have on my what box. Yeah, I felt this is the longest I've ever done. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. So yeah, shoot.